ought not to be written in ink, but in a golden splash.
I don't know whether you've seen a map of a person's mind.
You won't forget me, Peter, will you, before spring cleaning time comes?
Doctors have tried to draw a map of a child's mind. It is not only confused, but keeps going around all the time.
There are zigzag lines on it, probably roads in an island. Neverland is always more or less an island, with astonishing splashes of color here and there, and coral reefs and lonely layers. And gnomes, who are mostly tailors, and caves through which a river runs, and princes with 6 elder brothers, and a hut fast going to decay, and one very small old lady with a hooked nose.
It would be an easy map, if that were all. But there's also the first day at school, religion, fathers, the round pond, needlework.
Murders, hangings, demonstrative adjectives, chocolate pudding day, getting into braces, cash for pulling out your tooth.
Rainbow. Neverland's very good deal. Wendy's is a house of leaves deftly sewn together.
Who is Captain Hook?
Don't you remember how you killed him and saved my life, Peter?
I forget them after I killed them.
Tinkerbell remembers.
Who is Tinkerbell?
Oh, Peter, she drank poison for you.
There's such a lot of them. I expect she's dead by now.
You will remember me, though, won't you, Peter?
George, last night I saw a boy at the window, 3 floors up. He escaped, but his shadow hadn't time to get out.
I don't think we know him, but he does look a scoundrel.
Dear night lights that protect my sleeping child, burn clear and steadfast tonight.
You two have been there. You can still hear the sound of the surf. Those shall land no more.
Of all delectable islands, the Neverland is the snuggest and most compact. Not large and sprawly, you know, with tedious distances between one adventure and another, but nicely crammed.
When you play it by day with the chairs and tablecloths, it's not in the least alarming. But within the 2 minutes before going to bed, it becomes very, very real. So, there are nightlights.
All children except one grow up. They soon know that they will grow up.
You always know after you are 2. 2 is the beginning of the end.
Stars, they're beautiful, but they may not take an active part in anything. They must just look on forever. It's a punishment put on them for something they did so long ago, that no star now knows what it is. So, the older ones, they become glassy-eyed and seldom speak. But the little ones, they're the ones who still wonder.
They are not very friendly to Peter, who had a mischievous way of stealing up behind them and trying to blow them out. But they were so fond of fun that they were on his side tonight, and anxious to get the grown-ups out of the way. So as soon as the door of 27 closed on Mr. and Mrs. Darling, there was a commotion in the firmament, and the smallest of all the stars in the galaxy cried out,
"Now, Peter!"
Here, now! If you were to ask your mother whether she knew Peter Pan when she was a little girl, she will say, "Why, of course I did, child." And if you ask whether he rode on a goat in those days, she will say, "Certainly he did." What a silly question to ask. Now, if you were to ask if your grandmother knew Peter Pan when she was a little girl, she will say, "Why, of course I did, child." But if you ask whether he rode on a goat in those days, she will say she's never heard of his having this goat. Therefore, there was no goat when your grandmother was a little girl. This shows that in telling the story of Peter Pan, to begin with the goat, as most people do, is as silly as to put on your jacket before your vest. This also shows that Peter is ever so old, but he's really always the same age, and his age is 1 week. And though he was born so long ago, he's never had a birthday, nor is there the slightest chance of his ever having one. And this is because he escaped from being human at 7 days old.
Tinkerbell, where are you? Do you know where they could have put my shadow? It's mine. You're never escaping from me again. I'll stick you on with this soap.
Boy, why are you crying?
What's your name?
Wendy, Myra, Angela, darling. What's your name?
Peter Pan.
Where do you live?
Second store to the right, and straight on till morning.
That's a funny address. Is that what they put on the letters?
Don't get any letters.
Well, your mother gets letters.
Don't have a mother.
Oh, Peter, no wonder you were crying.
I wasn't crying about mothers. I was crying because I can't get my shadow to stick on.
It has come off?
Yes.
Oh, how awful. Well, if we can't stick it on with soap, how exactly like a mold. It must be sewn on.
What's some?
You are dreadfully ignorant.
No, I'm not.
I'll do it for you, my little man. I dare say, it might hurt a little.
Oh, don't worry. I won't cry. I've never cried in my life.
Perhaps I should have ironed it.
Oh, yes! How clever am I? The cleverness of me.
There never was a cockier boy. Of course I did nothing.
You did a little.
If I am no use, then I can at least withdraw.
Wendy, don't withdraw. Wendy, I can't help crowing when I'm pleased with myself. Wendy! Don't you know, the use of one girl is plenty more than 20 boys.
Do you really think so, Peter?
Yes, I do.
I think that is perfectly sweet, and I will get up and give you a kiss if you like.
All right.
Surely you know what a kiss is.
I shall know when you give it to me. Now I shall give you a kiss.
If you please.
A genuine acorn.
I will wear it on a chain around my neck. Peter, how old are you?
I don't know. Wendy, I'm young. I ran away the day I was born because I overheard Mother and Father talking about what I was to be when I became a man. But I'm never to be a man. I'm always to be young and to be a boy. But, Wendy, I have lived a long time among the fairies.
You really know fairies?
Well, I know a fairy. You see, children know such a lot now. The second a child says, I don't believe in fairies, their fairy falls down somewhere dead. I can't seem to think of where she's gone. Tink! Tink! Have you seen her? She's about this big, always running her mouth.
No.
Perhaps she's behind the bed.
That's a good idea.
No luck. Tink! You shouldn't say such things. Of course, I'm very sorry. But how could I have known where you were?
Oh, Peter, if she would only stand still and let me see her.
They hardly ever stand still.
Oh, the lovely.
Tink, this lady says she wishes you were her fairy.
What does she say?
She's not polite. She says that you're dumb and she's my fairy. But Tink, you can't be my fairy because I'm a gentleman and you're just a lady.
You silly ass.
She's quite a common fairy. She's called Tinkerbell because she mends our tin kettles and pots.
Peter, tell me about your home.
I live with the Lost Boys.
Who are they?
They're children who fell out of their perambulators when the nurse wasn't looking. And if they're not claimed within 7 days, they're sent away to Neverland to defray expenses. And I'm the captain.
How fun it must be.
Yes, but we are rather lonely. You see, we have no female companionship.
Well, are none of the others girls?
Oh no. Girls, you know, are much too smart to fall out of their prams. Do you know why I come here, Wendy?
Me?
To hear stories. You see, none of the Lost Boys know any stories, nor do I. Oh, Wendy, your mother was telling you such a lovely story.
Which story was it?
About the prince who was trying to find the woman who wore the glass slipper.
That was Cinderella. And he found her. And they lived happily ever after.
What's your name? You're a pirate, aren't you? Put him up.
I'm not a pirate. I'm a flower. A tiger lily. You're not a pirate now, are you?
No. I'm lost. Lost boy.
Oh, I won't hurt you.
Well, the truth is I'm terrified of pirates and Peter is gone.
You're safe now.
I dreamt last night that the prince found Cinderella. Dying to find her at the end of that story.
Who's Cinderella?
You know? From the story. Something about shoes, the deep black lake, and mice with no eyes. You see, us lost boys, we don't have any mothers. So Peter Pan, he comes back, tells us all these wonderful stories.
Oh, I know Peter Pan. Are you one of the ones that fell out of your crib? You're safe now.
Peter's gone away, and I'm frightfully anxious. The only thing I remember about my mother is that she often said to my father, "Oh, how I wish I had a checkbook of my own." I mean, man, I don't know what a checkbook is, but I would love to give my mother one. And I was also telling her, okay, real funny, Tiger Lily. Where you at? All right, Tiger Lily, you win this time.
Where are you going?
To tell the other boys.
Don't go, Peter. I know such lots of stories. Oh, the stories I could tell to the boys. Let me go.
Oh, Wendy, do come with me and tell the other boys.
I can't. Mommy. Besides, I can't fly.
Then I'll teach you.
Oh, how lovely to fly.
I'll teach you how to jump onto the wind's back and then away we go.
Ooh.
Wendy, while you're asleep in your silly bed, you could be flying around with me and saying funny things to the stars.
I'm scared.
And Wendy, there are mermaids.
Mermaids? With tails?
Such long tails.
Oh, to see a mermaid.
First, you need a happy thought. Can you think of one?
My mom.
Oh, please, you're gonna have to do so much better than that. Don't be silly.
My mom. Flowers. Kisses. Blankets. Sunshine.
Those were good. Now, look at your shoulders like this.
Oh, look at me. Do we dare go out?
Let's do 1,000,000,000 miles.
Of course it was to this that Peter had been luring her.
I'm flying.
Come, Wendy.
How still the night is. Nothing sounds alive. Yo-ho, yo-ho. The pirate life. The flag of skull and bow. A merry hour, a hemp and rope, and hey for Davy Jones. Hey! How do I look? Cadaverous. Mr. Smee, risking the penalty of this. Did you, or did you not, pluck that lily for me? I did. And where is she now? All tied up, Captain, to a rock in the center of the lagoon. She'll be out of your hair now, Captain. I want Peter Pan. 'Twas he who cut my arm off. I've longed to shake hands with him. Oh, I'll tear him! And yet, I have often heard you say that hook was worth a score of hands for combing the hair and other homely uses. If I was mother, I would pray my child be born with this instead of this. Ah! So, unrip your plan, Captain. I'm sure you've got one. Yes, I have a plan. So unrip it. We wait. We wait for Pan.
Wendy, welcome to Neverland.
Is that Peter?
Is that
Oh my
Peter?
goodness, it's
Peter's
Peter! He's back! He's back!
So, what happened? Did the slipper fit someone you know? Did he find her?
Don't ask me. Ask our new mother, Wendy.
I'd like to get you your own checkbook. Hello, I'm one of the lost boys, but you found us anyways.
Tell them, Wendy.
He found her. The prince found Cinderella, and they lived happily ever after. As they should. You should have known it would end that way.
Should have. Should not. Wendy, thank you.
You see, she really is a lady. Here's the kiss she gave me.
Oh, I remember kisses. Let me see.
Oh. Whoa.
That's a kiss, all right.
Can I have some?
You want it?
Yeah.
Come get it.
Wait.
Still sleepy, Wendy?
I couldn't shut my eyes even if I wanted to.
To the lagoon at once.
What was that?
Pirates.
Oh, hide! Hide me! How still the night is. Nothing sounds alive. This is the hour when children are homes in their beds, their lips bright brown by their good night chocolates, and their tongues belatedly searching their crumbs for their shining cheeks. Oh dear, I've never seen such a beautiful flower.
That's the tiger lily.
How would you like this or this? No, Smee. No, it's this. Do what you have to do. Smee, you heard her. Do what you have to do. I'll swing around the Jolly Roger. I'll take the dinghy. And when I'm back, I'll unwrap my plan. I'll make a bouquet of you, Canker Blossom.
It's Lilia Flankifolia.
Lover, I knew it. Some vain resistance. Not a canker blossom, not on your deathbed.
Time to die. No false names. I'm the tiger lily, the perennial flower. Time to die. Time to die.
Do it.
I'm not afraid.
Love you, lover. You take the fun from it.
I'm sure you'll find some way to enjoy yourself.
A happy thought, fresh lily.
Goodbye. Time to die. Neverland, goodbye.
Your doom awaits.
Ahoy there, you lovers!
Captain! Johnny Corkscrew is poised and ready.
Set her free!
Free?
Yes, at once, do you hear me? Or I'll plunge my hook in you.
Aye, aye, Captain. Bold move. Ahoy, Smee! Ahoy! Captain, is all well? He sighs. He sighs again. And yet the third time he sighs.
The boys have found a mother. I overheard a mermaid.
Oh, evil day! We are done for now. Captain, what's a mother?
He doesn't know.
What was that? I heard nothing. What's a mother, Captain?
The bird whose nest is on the water. Yes, what an idea. The birds whose nest is on the water. But would a mother abandon her nest? No.
Captain, if the boys have found a mother, perhaps she is lurking about, waiting to help Peter.
Aye, that is the fear that haunts me.
Captain, could we not kidnap these boys' mother and make her our mother?
Never. What was that?
I heard nothing. Hook! Have you another voice?
Where's the lily? Have the mermaids made salad of her yet?
Oh, don't worry, Captain. I set her free!
You set her free?
It was your own orders. You called over the water to me to let her go.
Brimstone and Gaul, what cheating is going on here? I never gave such orders.
I heard them plain.
Spirit that haunts this dark lagoon tonight, dost hear me?
Odds, bobs, hammers, and tongs, I hear you.
What was that? What was that?
It was me, Captain James Hook of the Jolly Roger.
You are not! You are not!
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
If you are James Hook, then who am I?
A codfish. Only a codfish.
A codfish!
Have I been captained all this time by a codfish? It is quite lowering to my pride.
Don't desert me, Lily. If I'm a codfish, then
Do you have another name?
I have.
Mineral.
No.
Vegetable.
No.
Animal.
Yes.
Man.
No.
You asked me first.
I can't think of a thing. Are you a boy?
Yes.
Ordinary boy?
No.
Wonderful boy?
Yes. Can't guess? Can't guess. Do you give up?
Yes, yes.
Well then. I'm Peter Pan!
Pan! The adventurer! He's alive! Into the water! Take him, Pan.
Are you ready, boys? Ouch! Oh, it bit me! It's not fair! Hey!
No one ever gets over their first unfairness. No one except Peter Pan. He often meets it, but he always forgets it. Perhaps that's the real difference between him and all the rest. So when he meets unfairness here, it's like the first time again. He can just sit and stare. Twice, the iron hand clawed him in his shock.
It's not fair! Hey!
I'll save you, Peter. The reason he will live and relive these first unfairnesses forevermore is Peter is betwixt and between, stuck somewhere between bird and human.
Wait a minute. Now listen up and wait. Before we continue, we take a moment to examine. You know, somehow, in the moment you are conceived, birds are involved. Between the wide-eyed shock and joy in your mother's eyes when you were first thought of as a result of an internal negotiation with a bird. And if you think hard enough, you can remember the spots on your back where your wings used to be, like a starfish or a soldier remembers an old limb. Now, of course, we grow out of this, but Peter never really did. And this is because he is really always the same age, and his age does not matter in the least.
The reason is that he escaped from being human when he was 7 days old. He escaped by the window and flew to Neverland.
If you think he's the only child who's ever wanted to escape, it shows just how completely you've forgotten your own young days. If you think back, pressing your fingers to your temples, and you do this hard and even harder, you distinctly remember a youthful desire to return to the trees.
And with that memory comes plenty more. You soon remember how you once planned an escape while your mother was asleep. And then, the next day, how she caught you halfway up the chimney. All children can have such recollections. They just place their hands hard enough to their
Temples, for having been birds before they were human, they are naturally a little wild during the first few weeks and quite itchy at the shoulders, for that's where their wings were.
We could all fly if we were as dead confident sure as Pan was that night.
You see, the reason that there are bars on nursery windows and a tall fender by the fire is because very little people sometimes forget that they no longer have wings.
And try to fly away through the window or up the chimney.
When the first baby laughed for the first time, his laugh broke into a million pieces, and they all went skipping about. This was the beginning of fairies. They're tremendously busy, you know, as if they had not a moment to spare. But if you were to ask them what they were doing, they could not tell you in the least.
They're frightfully ignorant, and everything they do is make-believe. They have a postman who never calls, except at Christmas with his tiny box. And though they have beautiful schools, nothing is ever taught in them.
I should know how to fly. The youngest person being elected chief mistress will call the roll. And when she calls the final roll, nobody returns. All children, except one, grow up.
They soon know that they will grow up.
Anyways,
Let's celebrate!
Yes! All right, my pirates, show me your beauty.
show me!
Oh, Peter, you've been wounded. Let me mother you. I'll leave your medicine for you, Peter.
Okay, Wendy, I promise I will take it as soon as I get back. Those are the words of a devoted son, Wendy. And a devoted son should never break a promise.
Do you swear it?
I swear it.
All right.
Goodbye, Wendy lady.
Hello? Is anyone still here?
There you are. What are you doing out of bed?
I was waiting to be tucked in.
How totally sweet. I shall do it.
Peter!
like I should make a dying speech, because when I die, there may not be any time for it. 'Twas my ambition. Whenever children play Peter Pan, the strongest always plays Peter. And guess who plays me? The baby. The baby! That is where the canker gnaws.
I would want to play you, Captain.
Pathetic, lovable Smee. A smile upon his face because he thinks people fear him.
Oh, but they do.
How do I break it to him? Smee, train the prisoner.
Knock it off, Ting.
Peter, there's poison in your medicine. It was too big for me to spill out, but you can't drink it.
Spill it out? Why would you spill it out? I promised Wendy.
I think we all know what's going on here, pixie dust.
Yeah, what's going on?
Leave us alone, Tinkle Bell.
Peter, there's poison in your medicine.
Poison? Wendy wouldn't have poisoned it. Here it is, see?
You're just jealous.
You ass, you ass.
Wendy would not have poisoned it. I'll even drink it to prove it to you.
No.
What has gotten into you, dumbbell? I will never make it up to Wendy.
Peter,
Oh no. Tink, there really was poison, but who could have poisoned it?
Hook did. He stole her. He poisoned you.
We have to save her. We have to save her. We just have to. Come on, Tiger Lily.
But Peter, it was poison, and now I'm going to be dead.
Tink, did you drink it just to save me?
You silly, silly ass.
Okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Maybe children believed in fairies again?
Yeah, that's a good idea. You, and you, and you. Do you believe in fairies? If you believe in fairies, clap your hands. Yes, clap. Now stomp your feet. Yes, all that you can. She's getting better. I can't lose her. She's better. Thank you. You've saved Tinkerbell. Not only that, you've saved my best friend. To the Jolly Roger.
Let's go save Wendy.
Shall I do a strap then, Captain? We've been fine without a mother until now. Why change?
Fine then. Oh, what would your real mother say? I wouldn't know her if I passed her on the street.
You should know that by now.
Am I to die then? Flowers, kisses, blankets.
What is she doing?
Saying my happy thoughts, and then I'll fly. My mother, my mom, my mother.
Fly when Pan lies dead? Nothing can save you now.
I'm scared. Oh, Mom.
Hook or me this time.
Hit the Avenger! He lives!
Not so fast.
Your doom is your doom.
I'll take this one.
Was this all you were doing?
Aye, Captain James Hook, it was all of my doing.
Peter Pan, what are you?
Hook, I am youth. I am joy. I am the little bird who was just cracked out of its egg. I am fun. I am young. I am Peter Pan, Captain James Hook of the Jolly Roger. Your doom awaits.
I must go home at once.
We're going wherever the Jolly Roger may lead us. Wendy, to have your own pirate ship.
I mean home. Perhaps Mother is in half mourning by now. Peter, will you make the necessary arrangements?
I can if you wish it, Wendy.
I'm not asking you to pass the nuts, Peter. I'm asking to go home. Not so much as a sorry to lose you.
Wendy, you can go home if you like.
Wendy, You can go. Peter, let's chain her up. Keep her prisoner.
No. She can go if she wants.
Thank you, Peter.
You know your happy thoughts, and I've taken you across the sea, so you know your way.
I suppose I won't be seeing you again?
You mind?
Well, you won't forget saving me from Captain Hook.
Who is Captain Hook?
Oh, Peter, you slain him for me.
I forget them after I kill them. Just go if you're going, Wendy.
Dear ones, if you come with me, I feel almost sure I can get Mother and Father to adopt you. All of you.
Peter, can we please go?
No fuss, no blubbering. Goodbye, Wendy. Quick, Tink! Close the window! Bar it! Yeah, that's right! Now, we must escape by the door, so that Wendy will think her parents shut her out. Look, there's Wendy's mother. She's asleep.
Wendy?
She is a pretty lady, but not as pretty as my mother. Her mouth is very full of kisses, but not as full as my mother's was. She cries in her sleep, but we can't both have her, lady.
Your nightlights that protect my sleeping child, burn clear, steadfast light. Mother? Wendy? Father? Wendy?
You can't see Neverland Bay. The wonders of it might hurt your eyes.
The window is shut. It is shut. I'll never believe it opened.
No, Wendy,
Oh, how much time has passed?
I don't know.
Mother looks so very old. Does this mean I can't go either?
Wendy, think a happy thought. We can fly, we can do spring cleaning, we can do adventure things, Wendy.
Think happy thoughts.
Yes.
Think happy thoughts.
Yes.
Yes.
Think happy thoughts.
Yes.
Think happy.
Yes.
Yes.
If growing up means it might be beneath my dignity to climb a tree, I'll never grow up, never grow up, never grow up, not me. As we look at Wendy, our last glimpse of Wendy shows her at the window. As you look at Wendy, you may see her hair becoming white and her figure little again, for all this happened so long ago. Wendy has a daughter, Margaret, who has a daughter, Jane, who is to be Peter's mother in turn. And thus it will go on so long as children are carefree, innocent, and heartless. We recede into the sky until we are as small as stars.